Alright, today we'll be doing Henry Park Primary School WA1 2025 paper. So let's go on to look at the first question. Okay, there were 754,973 tourists who visited Universal Studio last year. So express this number to the nearest thousand. So to the nearest thousand, alright? So 754,973 nearest thousand and the thousand mark there, we will cut. Okay, that will check whether behind is more than 5. If it's more than 5, the value here will plus 1. Yes, it's more than 5 because it's 9, so it will be plus 1. And those behind will be changed to 0. So hence your answer is number 3. Okay, next. So they ask you to express 1.6, okay, as a percentage. As you understand, 1 whole, so 1.6, this means 1 whole. 1 whole is actually 100%. So if this is in the hundreds place, okay, so this will be in the tens place. So hence, therefore, the percentage is, this will be the 60%. So together, they are 160%, number 4. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Which of the following is most likely to be the mass of a can of Coke? Okay, so this question is actually just asking about some basic understanding of how you relate the gram to kg. Definitely, if think about it, you are, as a student, okay, you are about probably 20 to 35 in terms of, depends on the size, you are about that range in kg. So anything for a can of Coke, which is smaller, cannot be in kg. So 2 and 4, definitely out. So you're left with about what? Question number 1, 350 gram and 35 gram. So how to weigh this? Okay, your 1 can of Coke is depends on, or up to about 330 ml per can. This is some knowledge you need to understand, that will help. So if you think about it, do you think it can be 35? Because if let's say I say 1 cm cube, this convert to cm cube is 330 cm cube, and I relate it to about 1 gram per cm cube. That means every 1 gram is 1 cm cube. So 330, so it's about 350. 35 is too small. Alright, so it's impossible for that to be a can of Coke, the mass. Okay, so this one you need to use some understanding. Okay, next, question 4. Mandy has some red, blue, green marbles. So for every 3 red marble in the back, there are 5 blue marbles. So first, this I will write into a ratio. Alright, so every 3 red is to blue. Every 3, there will be 5. Then there are 8 green marbles. So the green is 8 for every 5. So since the blue are the same, I can put into red is to blue is to green. So it means that for every 5 blue, there will be 3 red and 8 green in one group. So the question asks you for the ratio of the red to green to total. So here you add on 1 total. So if the total add together is actually 16. But the question is asking for red to green to total. So based on this here, okay, we will know that 3 is red, green is 8, total is 16. So your answer is number 4. So read the question properly, depends on what they want. But before that, every sentence have something to write. Okay, it's not necessary that I need to write it in ratio, but I can do so by making it even easier. Okay, I can draw model, I can draw, can write in fractions and everything, but I personally feel the ratio will be much easier to understand because they are all in units already. Okay, so in the class, there are 18 girls and 12 boys. What percentage of the pupils? So do you want it in percentage of the pupils? So pupils means total. 18 plus 12, that will give you 30. And they're asking for boys. So boys over total times 100%, that will be your answer. Alright, so boys, there is 12 over 30 times 100%. So now you can't use calculator. So how do you do that? Remove the 0. Okay, because it's over 1 diagonally. Then 3, 12, give you 4. So 4 times 10, 40%. So answer is number 3. So this is why you need to know how to do your multiplication and division for your fractions. Okay, if not, you're too reliant on calculator, this question will be a problem for you. Okay, Let's look at question 6. This is quite simple. This is rate. Okay, your machine takes 7 minutes to fill 560 bottles. Okay, 7 minutes, 560 bottles, which means you know how to find 1 minute. Okay, so 1 minute is actually 80. And they say, how many bottles can the machine fill in 4 minutes? So 4 minutes, okay, you will have 4 times 80, 320. Answer is not here. Okay, so I believe this is the error, I guess. So if it's so, this is number 4 and I remove the 0. Alright. Excuse me. Let's go on to the next one. A solid cuboid of height 8 cm has a square base of side 4 cm. Read properly again. A cuboid height, but the base is a square shape. Means if I were to draw, it looks like this. Bottom is all 4 4 and it has a height. Okay, I'm going to draw a full thing. Okay, I'm going to draw it this way so you can understand it. Where are these? So they want a volume. Volume formula, length times breadth times height. It's very easy. Need to remember the formula, right? So the length and the base 4, then the height is 8. Okay, that will give you 128 cm cube. Okay, so therefore your answer is number 3. Okay, next question. Question 8. Okay, in the figure below, ACE and BCD are straight line. So they have given you all the 3 angles and asked you to find ABC. So let's just mark out ABC, but I'm not going to care about this Y. I don't want to make it so complicated. So with whatever I know, alright, so 55 is not going to help. Okay, it's only there to make you confused because some people might forget about the parallel lines. When they are parallel, these are alternate. So they purposely put the 55. If you look at it, the 55 is not going to be useful. But what is important is the vertically opposite of 2 lines, which this is 51. Okay, so in blue, looking at this triangle, you will know that it's 180 in these 3 corners. So you can find the required answer, which means it's 180 minus 51 minus 43. So 180 minus 51 minus 43 will give you 86. So your answer is number 4. Okay, let's go on to the next question. Question 9. Okay, the 2 triangles below are equilateral triangle. Important thing, equilateral, what do you mean? So we need to do this. It means 3 sides the same. And if it's 3 sides the same, you know this is 60, this is 60. They want the sum. They're not asking you to find individual, they want them add together. So in other words is 1 whole round 360, I remove whatever I have, I will be able to get the sum. So it's 360 minus 60 minus 60, that will give me 240. So this is quite straightforward. Okay, so this kind of question can evolve. They can also ask you saying that how B is how many times more than A, and ask you to find A or ask you to find B. These are the type of question you can actually change. But using your knowledge on equilateral triangle, sum of the angle in the okay is at the point is 360, straight line is 180. All these are numbers. You do not need a question to tell you the numbers. They just need to state in sentence. So make use of these sentences to help you get your details out. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, use the information below to do question 10 and 11. So don't miss out important sentence here. Okay, some people just like to jump to it, do the graph, and then you forgot about the important thing. So Hassan earned $300 each week. The line graph shows the amount of money he spent each week over 5 weeks. Amount, this is spent, take note. So that means the gap is actually safe. Just take note of the opposite of the things you know. So if you want to be clear, alright, we can write down the numbers from the table so that you'll be more clear cut. And always to check one gap is how many, what number represents it. Okay, so for now, let's look at question 10. In which week did Hassan spend the most money? It's quite easy. So the highest will be week 2. So answer is number 2. So if you get this wrong, it's a waste of your marks. You can score. No careless mistake for this kind. So what was the total amount Hassan saved? You see, they're talking about save. They're not talking about spend. From week 1 to 3. So which means these 3 weeks. Alright. So you need to work out. Okay, so go back to the graph. Okay. So for the week 1, 300 minus 200 will give you 100. So for every one gap is actually 20. because it's 100 divided by 5 units here. Okay, so 1 unit is 20. So I'll have 80 for week 2. And he only spent $80, so he saved 220. So you add these three numbers together, you will get $400. Alright, so answer is number 1. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Area of triangle. Let's see. Okay, they want the area of the shaded part. Okay, whenever they want area of shaded part, there is a very odd shape. Okay, we can look at it by cut and paste method. That means we can find a big piece of paper, for example this one, and minus away the smaller piece. I'll get the one that I want. It's the same as how we do our art and craft, right? So let's look at, okay, this one. So they want the area of the shaded part, okay? So which means now, it's quite clear cut. The height for the bigger one is 18. So this portion is 8. And they tell you this is 18 and this is 40. So the big triangle minus a small triangle. So it's just half times 40 base times height, okay? Times 18. Then minus half times 18 times 8. Okay? So this is 360 minus 72. Okay, that will give you 288. That will be the answer number 3. Okay, sorry for writing. 288. Okay. Okay, next question. Okay, the ratio of number of pears to the number of oranges to the number of apple. So you have 3. So pear first, followed by orange, followed by apple. Ratio, please do not read wrongly. They are very, very clear with it. They tell you the total number of fruits is 117. So which means total units you have is 13. So 13 units is 117. So 117 divided by 13, okay, you have 9. If you have trouble doing your division for 13, never mind, just write it down. Alright, write down a number and work from there. Alright, okay, if not, you need to memorize the numbers. So 1 unit, they ask you how many more, the difference, the important word is more pear than apple. Pear and apple, difference is 3 units. So the answer is 27. So number 4. Okay, it's quite clear cut. You cannot don't score for your MCQ. Alright, MCQ is one of the easiest because one of it is the answer. You must get it. Okay, as you just flow step by step, you will understand. Okay, now let's look at question 14. Okay, the first 15 number of a pattern are given below. So do you notice anything about the pattern? Yes? Yeah. 5086, 5086, 50. So that means every one group there's 4 number. Okay? So if you use 274 divided by 4, why? Why do I do so? Is to find the number of groups I might have remainder. Right? So 274 divided by 4, definitely. I will have 68 remainder 2. Okay? If I do the log division, I should have this. Which means I have 68 groups. This is the group. Okay? The remainder means the next number is a 5 and a 0. They ask you how many number. What is the 274th number? So which means my number will be so if I do until so on and so forth, this will be 200 and so 68 times 4, that will give me 272. So like this number, this is number 272, 273, and this will be my 274. So the answer is 0. Okay, so because you use the remainder to help you count. Alright, on every group there's 2 numbers, so the last number here, you will start from here to count the 0. Okay, last MCQ question of the paper. There were some girls and boys in the school hall. An equal number of boys and girls wear spectacles. Okay, very good. They tell you equal number. So this purpose of this sentence is to let you know how to make the one unit the same, so that you can put the units together and make them to let you have equal numbers of one unit for the boys and the girls to make them the same. Okay, let's see how it goes. So half the girls. So girls there's 2 units. Half. Wear and don't wear. Okay. So boys, there's 7 units. Okay, I don't know how many units how of it. Yeah, they're the same, not yet. But 4, do not wear. Oh, do not wear. And wear. So let's change these to don't wear. So I want to put all the wear together. Okay, so this one I will change this way. Easier for us. Because I like it when they're all grouped in the more section. If not, later you will see it wrong. Okay, but go back to the second sentence. It says equal number of boys and girls wear spectacle. So wear spectacle here is 3 units for the boys. So this in blue, okay, I will slice them up. Now this shows 3 units of girls wear spectacle, 3 units of boys wear spectacle. So they ask you what fraction children. That means it's wear spectacle. So they just want wear spectacle over total, and then you reduce. So those total wears is 6. Total number of children is actually 6 plus 7, 13. So that is your answer, number 1. And there's no way you can reduce. So this is how you do it. So important, look out for all these kind of equal, then your model, you see, I will always put my don't wear spectacle, right? Labeling. You let me know. There's no point you don't label. If not, when you look back, you will tell yourself that, I make a mistake, I see wrongly. We don't need such mistakes during exam. Alright? Okay, so that's all for the MCQ. Alright, let's move on to the next section of the paper. Okay, your booklet B. Alright, so here, okay, I'm not sure what's the answer behind, but this looks like a division here. This looks like a plus to me, right? So, so whenever you do this, the very first thing is to settle those inside the bracket. But for this question, alright, there's a multiplication inside. So we still have to do whatever is inside first, which is, 72 divide. So 8, okay, minus, what's 2 times 3? 6, alright? Okay, then I assume this is a plus lah. Okay, let's do it as a plus. Okay, then which one do next? We will do the division, which means 72 divided by 2, then plus 77. And there's no more bracket, we settle all the brackets. So next we just do as per normal, division first, 36 plus 77, and this will give you 113 is the answer. Okay, so this one, okay, because of printing I'm not very sure, but looks more like a division and a plus for me, so I do it this way. So remember, when you do this, follow the Bodmas rule, okay, to always settle the brackets. Alright, next, okay, so in the number below, what is the value of A? So they are very clearly telling you from here to here is 3 over 8, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6 units represents the 2/3. Okay, sorry, not 2/3, I mean 2 over 8, sorry. So which means if I were to, not 2, sorry, I see wrongly also. Okay, so it's actually 3 over 8, sorry. So it's 3 over 8, which means every 2 unit represent 1 over 8. That means section out this way and this way. Alright, and I further section them out, okay, because I need a 1 unit here. So to divide 1 unit, it means I'll half this thing again, which means 1 over 16. Because if I were to change this to 2 over 16, I section them out. So that means it's 1 over 16 for each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 5 over 16 plus a 2. Okay, because this is 1 over 16, 1 over 16, 1 over 16, 1 over 16, and 1 over 16. So I have 5 of it, so that will give me a 2 whole. 5 over 16 is the answer. Okay, so the fractions, you need to know how to separate them. Alright, okay. In terms of units, keep practicing without a calculator, actually will help. Alright, let's go on to the next one. In a test, the number of marks Shane and Carl scored were in a ratio. So ratio, I love it. 3 is to Carl is 3 is to 7. Okay, so that means the 1 units are fixed. Shane got 16 fewer. This is quite straightforward. It's 4 units difference. So 4 units is 16, very nice number. 1 unit will be 4. They ask you how many marks did Carl. Carl is 7 units. Kyle. So 7 times 4, 28. That's it. Wow, easy. Must score, okay? This is something that is quite easy, straightforward. You must score. You cannot lose this kind of marks. Okay, next. 3 identical grey square tiles of side 25 cm were glued together. So Lisa cut out 2 identical 7 cm square and shown below, and the perimeter of the figure in grey. Okay, so they want to find the perimeter. So the perimeter is, let's start from where? Okay, let's see. Okay, they have a 7 cm square cut out. Let's do some tricks. Alright, I'm going to start from here and go downwards. So I will always do this so I know what I've covered and what I'm not. Okay, and the way to solve it, okay, to prevent careless mistake is always to write down all the numbers that you know, okay, around it, if you can, okay. Okay, those fixed that you know. This is 25y. Okay, I'm going to change this. I'm going to shift this line out here to form a long line. You see, this is 25. So then I shift this out to here and then form this. This is 25. So I do not need this and this anymore because I've shifted them out. This is the trick I'm going to tell you. Alright, so next, here comes it. See, since you know that, okay, in blue, I'll write this in blue just to avoid confusion. You see this part? This is 7, 7, 7. This part, this portion, if I were to shift it out here, I'll have this blue one. Okay, this section in green is the same as this. Because if I were to shift this here, this also will get shifted to this portion. So hence the green one, they are the same. Alright, so which means I will have said, I will have taken that this, and this to be 25. I have an additional 25 over here. And the next two I do not want to forget is my 7 and the 7. That's all. So all actually covered means what I've. Okay, so let me change another color. Okay, let's do it in purple. Alright. Okay, so in purple, it will be the one that I'm taking. Okay, which is 1, 25, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so there's 8, 25. So 25 times 8. Okay, plus my 7 and 7, which is 14. And check through my purple line. They have all covered everything. Alright. Okay, so therefore, okay, this is 200. And then here is 14. So my answer is 214. Okay, this is tricky. If you need to watch this back again to understand how I deal with this portion here, alright, go ahead, okay, and understand about the yellow line, how I do it. Okay, look through a bit, watch a bit, because this is one of the technique. There's no need to work out for the number there, but you can do by shifting it around for understanding. Okay, there's number you can find, yes, but I find that shifting will just solve the problem. Alright, okay, that's my way, but hopefully you can also learn something new. Okay, let's go on to next question. Question number 20. Okay. Raju went on a hike at Bukit Timah Hill. So the hike started at 6:20 and ended 3:10 on the same day. So how long was the hike? Okay, so usually timeline. Okay, I would love to separate by hours. What do I mean? So 6:20 a.m. and then I end at 3:10 p.m. So I will always section out this is 3 p.m. and here will be 7 a.m. Why? This will tell me minutes, which is 40 minutes. So 7 to 3, okay, 7 to 3 is actually 8 hours. So you have 12. How to tell? Sometimes you 12 noon, okay, so 7 to this one to 12 is 5 hours. And then 12 to 3 is 3 hours. That's how I get the 8 hours. Okay, I think it this way. Then here is 10 minutes. So taking all these numbers add together, it will give you 8 hours and 50 minutes. Alright. Okay. So number line, timeline, number line, all these things will help. So it's just a section of how you go and separate them out. If you keep separate them into minutes and hours and to the nearest hours and so on, it actually makes it much easier. Okay, using the 12 hour, okay, the noon to help. Okay, to separate out the section. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, 10 more questions to go. Okay. Question 21. Terry had twice as many $2 notes as $5 notes. This is something that interesting. Okay, why? See, $2 notes is twice. This is something that a lot of students do not see. So what? No, because they are telling you, if I write this into ratio, the ratio of $2 is to $5 is 2:1, which also means this is considered as one group. That means I will put in $2 note, $2 note, and a $5 note into one group. Then I have many, not inside there, but I have many of these groups around, and they total up to give me, and all these total up to give me $378. So I need to find a number of groups. That's the reason why. So when they give you this, Alright, so this is important to understand. Alright, we need to have this proper understanding of how it works. So let me remove this from the space. So, which means I will have one group. Okay, how much is this? There will be a $4 plus $5 equals to $9. So I'll write one group is $9. So how many groups is the units method? Okay, 378. I will use 378, okay, divide by 9. Yep, that will give me 42 groups. But that's not all. There's only one with 42 groups, not about anything else they want. They say, so 42 groups can tell you a lot of things. It depends on what the question asks. But they say, how many $5 notes did we have? So if you look at here, every group there is one only. So therefore, there is only 42. Just nice. This will be the answer. Okay, if they ask for how many $2, every group there's 2, then you just need to use 42 times 2. But in this case, the question is here is asking for $5. So we will just, there's only one in one group. Hence, we will just put as 42 because there's 42 groups. Alright, okay. So next question. Okay, Susie packed a 13 kg bag of flour into small packets. So each packet contained 2/5 kg of flour. Okay, so how many flour was left in the bag? Okay. Remember, this is a different thing. Why? There's a kg behind. This is not 2/5 as normal fraction like what you do, like you draw 5, mark out 2. No, we don't do that because there's a kg behind. If you convert this, okay, so how you going to do? The first method is you convert your 2/5 kg to gram and your 13 kg to gram. Then you do the division. That's one answer. Okay, but they want to know how much flour was left, and the answer at the bottom they ask for kg. So, but you can use calculator, but you might not know how to get the remainder using your calculator. So my best advice is conversion cannot be wrong. So there's one way. Then this will be 400 grams. So it's as good as imagine you are taking out. You have a 13 kg bag. You try to do 400 grams, 400 grams, 400 grams, 400 grams. At the end of the day, how many packets do you have? Then the leftover you're going to measure. Okay? But first you need to know what is the remainder. So easiest way is to do a division. So okay, divide by 400. So this is this way. Let's see how you do without calculator. Alright. When I do division, I always like to cancel the 0 first. Okay, I'll just do a small number. So I'll use 12. Okay, minus, there will be 1, bring down, so I use 8, 2. So no more, this is my remainder 2, but answer is not 2, it's 32 packets. Remainder, because I remember I remove the 0, so it's remainder 200 grams. Okay, so this is the bags, 32 bags. Okay, and I have remainder 200 grams. So 200 grams convert to kg is 0.2 kg. So therefore the answer is 0.2. Okay. Okay, let me show you if you use calculator, because a lot of students will be wrong if they use calculator. Let me show you this. Same thing, this is 13 kg. And if I don't convert, I will be dividing by 2/5 kg. So what do I get? I will actually get 32.5. So how do you read this? People write 0.5, then they will start to write 0.5. No, always remember, always understand. For the one in red, I'm doing in terms of gram. And I get the number of packet. Right? 0.2 gram. Okay? So in gram, I'm doing this is I'm left with 200 grams. Because if I don't cancel a 0, I will have a 200 at the back. This is the amount of the gram I'm left with. But in this case, your 0.5, this is packets. You're doing in the same units. So if you do it this way, you will have half a packet, which means this is actually 32.5 packets. Okay? So we need 32.5 packets means 32 full and half full for the 33rd packet, and half full. So meaning one full packet is 2/5 kg. Oh, they want in simplest one as a fraction. Okay, so later we'll convert a fraction. So And then so if you have half full, you divide by 2, which means you get 1 over 5 kg. So that's how you get it. Also 0 point. So if you have a 0.2 and then you convert again, this is 1 over, okay, 2 over 10 reduce will give you 1 over 5 kg. Same answer. Alright, okay, I just see that. Okay, I thought they just want to reduce. Okay, so this is how your answer will be. Okay, 1 over 5 kg. Alright, so as you do, so hopefully you have a better understanding on this. Alright, so 2 ways. So I started the red one or the blue one. Okay. Okay, next question. A sum of money was shared between Ali and Vikram in the ratio 2:5. So yeah, Ali 2:5. Okay, so Vikram gave 1 out of 4. So Vikram got 4. His share. Vikram got 4, but here got 5. So we need to make them the same. Alright, so 5 and 4 number 20. So means that times 4 times 4, so 8 is to 20 first. This will be 5 over 20. So in other words, Vikram gave 5 units of his share to Ali. So means if I were to give 5, Vikram will be 15. And then Ali will receive 5, that will give him 13. They want the new ratio for Ali is to Vikram share. So it's 13 is to 15. Alright? Okay, so this one just need to be clear of how to separate. If you do not know how to separate, that is the issue. So remember, make them same, I multiply 4 here. Why do I multiply 4 here? It's because based on the fractions. Okay, the fraction that told me. Okay, so I make it simplest form. Because the question will not give you as 8 is to 20 as simplest form. Okay, they will not give you answer question like this. They always give you in the simplest form. So you have to make it unsimplest form. Then from there you can understand what is the number they transfer. Okay. Okay, next question. There were a total of 400 green and yellow balls in a container. After adding 64 green balls in the container and removing 7% of the yellow ball from the container, 443 balls were left in the container. So what do we know? So the story is telling you I have 400 total. I minus 64 green. I add 64 green minus a number of yellow, which is amount to 7% of them. I end up with 443. Which also in other words meaning this is actually adding of 43. Am I right? And if I have to look at that, for 64, I will remove something to become 64, I remove something to become 43. So it's as good as to find the yellow is 64 minus the 43. That will give you 21, which means in blue, I remove 21. And 21 represents the 7%. So 7% is 21, 1% is 3, and so 100% is 300. That is the original yellow balls I have. Alright? Oh, but the question is asking you, how many yellow balls were left in the container in the end? They are not asking for all of this, but they know. We know he took away 21. We know there's 300 at first. So we can use 300 minus 21. That will give you 279. Okay? So that's how you get the answer. Okay? It's actually to understand the story first. The percentage, don't get confused. Alright? Because if you don't read the question properly, you will not know what are they referring to. So it's harder for you to solve. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, the table shows the parking rate and the shopping mall. Okay, first hour and after the first hour. So there's a word for part thereof. Means even if you park 1 minute, 2 minutes or 29 minutes, you will still pay 160. Ben parked his car at the shopping mall from 4:45 to 7:35. How much did he have to pay for parking his car? Okay, so this timeline is very different by a bit. Why? Because there's a first hour, so all the way until 7:35. Okay, so I go to the section of my first hour first, which is the $3.20, which will park until 5:45. And then after the first hour, every 30 minutes. So how many 30 minutes will I have? Okay, so this will be 6:45, there's 2 of it, so 2 times the $1.60, then another 30 minutes, $1.60, which will end up $7.15, and I will have to pay for the part thereof. So this will be the amount I have to pay. Okay, so it's as good as since 320 is one is a factor of $1.60, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can write as $1.60 times 6, or if not, you just add up all the numbers up there, then you will have your answer. So that will give you total money spent for his parking is $9.60. Okay, so this one is quite clear cut, but I always like to do in the timeline, then fill up the amount. Okay, it's something similar to how I did the question just now for my time question. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, the figure below, the figure shows a rectangular box partly filled with identical 1 cm cubes. So what is the volume of the rectangular box? So they're asking for the whole thing. So this is just giving you an idea of how to find the measurement. So by looking at the length, okay, I need to find the breadth and also the height. Okay, the height is 1, 2, and the bottom of 1, so it is 3 cm. Here will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so this 8 cm, and the thickness is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this one probably if you need you can zoom in and take a look. Alright, so the total will be, so the answer is 8 times 5 times 3, since they want the volume, so that will give you 120 cm cube. Okay, so that's the answer. So it's just more like how you understand how the net of this question, or for all the cubes are arranged, then it will help. Okay, next question. Okay, ABCD is a rectangle. XYZ is an isosceles triangle where XZ equals to XY. Okay, so find BJD. Okay, this one is a bit overlapping. BJD. This one. Okay, XZ and XY are isosceles, so this length and this length same, and ABCD is a rectangle, so this 90, and they tell you there's a 51. So this is quite straightforward. You can find this angle, which is 180 minus 90 minus 51, that will give you 39. Then I just want to find the answer, which will be 180 minus 39, which will give you 141. That's it. It's quite forward. So the 106 is there to confuse you, I guess. So sometimes we can find everything if we need. We don't need it, then we don't. Alright, so it's just whether we can think of the section of how we want to do it. Look out for all the details that will help. Okay, next question. Suren had an equal number of sunflower and roses. He gave away 3/5 of the sunflower and some roses. So they use the word some. So you don't know how many roses we give away, but you will know the section of the detail for the sunflower. Okay, she has an equal. So first, this is equal. Sunflower, then the roses. Okay. What happened was that she gave away 3 units out of 5. So I section this out into 5 first. And she gave away. Okay, they say that in the end she was left with 1/4 of the total number of flowers. Okay, so what fraction of roses did she give away? Okay, this one is very confusing. Why? You do not know how many roses were given away, but you know the left is 1/4. That means she left with 1 unit. So let's say I section out this as giveaway. Okay, so meaning that she was left with 2 units of sunflower and 1 unit of rose. Okay, 1/4. This represents 2 units. Okay, I don't write as a 2 unit. I write 2 sunflower and 1 rose. Okay, so which means the original total was equivalent to 8 roses plus 8 sunflower and 4 roses. Okay, but here as drawn, I already have drawn 5 sunflower, which also means that this total will also represent 3 sunflower plus 4 roses. Correct? And I have 5, so which means this is equivalent to 2 sunflower. So if I write 2 unit of sunflower is equals to 4 roses, means every one sunflower is equivalent to 2 roses, which means if this unit here is 5 sunflower, which should give me 10 roses, which means I should have 10 units here already. So, and then she only left with 1 here because she gave away the rest. So she gave away 9 units out of the total 10. This is 1 unit here. So therefore the answer given away is 9 over 20. Okay. This is important, but this is a relation, a linking to how you get it. So the important part is actually the 1/4 to understand how it works. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, the graph below shows the number of washing machines sold by a shop from June to September. Okay, it's a bit blur, huh? So let me mark out. So here, and here. Okay, what is the average number of washing machines sold from June to September? Average is just all numbers are together divided by the total number of months. There's 4. So, okay, this one is just a basic average. So plus, this is 180. Then I have 340 and 250. Then the answer just divided by 4. Okay, so so that will give you, key in the calculator, that will give you 242.5 is the answer. Okay, alright, so next one. So the table below shows the number of books collected by Evergreen Center in 23 and 24. So part of the table is covered by ink block, which is here, the one that's missing. So the number of books in total collected were both 3-digit numbers. So they are all 3 digits number. Okay. Let's take a look. So the total number here. They have given you the total number. So these are the 3 groups. So I'll draw a line just to separate out. Okay. Okay, so each of the statements, I'll see which one is true or false. In the year 2024, the number of Chinese books collected were 40%. 24 Chinese books were 40% of the number of Tamil books. 40%. So of the Tamil books, so it's 80. Let's check. I have 80 for Chinese and Tamil books is 200. 100%. Yes, equals to 40%. Correct. Just cancel. I extra cancel one. So yeah, so they will give you 40. So it's true. Okay, next one. It says that in the year 2003, more than 50% of the books collected were Tamil. More than 50. Okay, what could this answer be? Okay, since the numbers are covered, let's give it a maximum of 189. Okay, if this is 189, my total would be 121 plus 65 plus 189. My total maximum is 375. Okay, so is it 50%? Let's check. Okay, so if I have 189 divided by 375 times 100%, it is 50.4. Okay, so there is a chance, but it is not true. It is also not false. It's something that we can't tell because we have to depend on the number. So it's not possible to tell. But it's around there. Okay, it's around there. But I just need an exact number, but it can't be found from here because there's no other details for me to give it as a 50% exact. Okay, so in the year 2023, 20% of the books collected were Malay books. 2023, 20%. Okay, like I said, I give it this way. So let's say I check 20 divided by 375 times 100%. I will have a 17.3. If I give the Tamil books a maximum, let's say if I give it a minimum, which is 180, meaning a minus 9, okay, that will be 66. Okay, I will have 17.7 also. No. Okay, so in this case, under 2023, it will never hit 20%. Okay, but in this case, in the year. Okay, no matter whatever the bigger number, I've tried 180 and 290, the numbers will always be around 17.7%. So no matter what, it's impossible. So the year collector will false. So this case I'll give it a false because no matter what number covered or given, it will always not be possible. Okay, so it's false. Okay, so this is my answer. So this is the end of the paper. Alright, so if you have anything not sure, look back, rewatch the video, okay, to revise. And okay, I also have added a few other papers, answers to the papers and explanation on YouTube, so you can actually search into the list, okay, and learn from that. If you have any question that you're done not sure, you can drop me a comment and I will try to reply. Tell me the year, tell me the paper and which question. I'll try to make out a video and send it to you. Alright, again, thank you.